This is my first wintry ride out, really. Winter period, winter season, on the Israeli bike. And it's quite cold. It's not desperately cold, probably about 7 degrees, a bit less perhaps. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I felt desperately in need of going out, but I just seem to have done nothing but sort of work really for the past 2 or 3 weeks. We've been taking cattle to market and such, sheep, cattle, and doing other stuff. Not that I feel caught up at home yet. I've still got some de-horning to do, and really the slurry pit is about full, getting on for. It ought to have some taken out anyway. But what the hell? It's Sunday afternoon and it's so lovely. I wish I'd cleaned my visor. But that's one of the issues with the low sun. It's like when it's on your windscreen. I've got the Osmo here. It's not running at the moment. I just thought I might run that and then use the better image from that, combined with the audio from the Drift. There are other ways to do it. I've got the audio thing on there, but there's no level control on that. So if you've got like a relatively noisy helmet and you tend to shout a bit, if you had the wire plugged into that, which would be a bit cumbersome anyway, it would be too loud, distorting a bit. And I've also got my other camera on my, little, what the Americans like to call a fanny pack. We call them bum bags, and it's on my bum, so it's a bum bag. But I haven't brought my big camera, just brought the small stills and video camera in addition to this. So I've got 3 cameras today and my phone. It's a bit daft, but at the same time that they all have their uses. You can't really speak to camera without the helmet camera on. I'll tell you what else I've noticed is it's cold in my helmet. I've got the Enduro Star one, and they're quite sort of spacious around the chin. I'm not really getting obvious cold draft up there, but it's still airy. But I'm not going far, I'm not really bothered, I'll survive. In this dip up ahead, some kind people have thrown out half the contents of it looks like a nursery or bedrooms or something. There's some like kids baby stuff, chairs, exercise bike, still there I would assume. Yeah, there, look, lovely. They're like small chairs. They look like they would be for like a kid's bedroom or something, or a nursery even, I don't know. They seem small, but they're actually not in bad condition. Well, they were until they got wet. I'm just surprised that somebody wouldn't take them for free. I think this bike will be about due its oil change service. It's still only done. It hasn't done 4,000 miles, or 3 something. But it's a couple of years since it was changed. Now, technically we're still in lockdown, but there's far less hassle about a bit of random travelling about. Technically you're only supposed to go with one other person, but it's a bit unclear when with starts. I think when they say with, that you could even in a car be with them in the car, put it that way. But if you're on a bike separate, you aren't really with them at all. But if you stop, you would have to try to maintain a bit of sensible distance, I suppose, unless you're with them all the time anyway at work or whatever. It is nice down here. I like coming down this road. We some 20, 25, 30 years ago nearly, to be honest. 30, it's more than that. It's like well over 30 years ago. We had some land down here, and used to come down here almost every day. And it hasn't really changed. The road hasn't changed much. A lot of the properties have changed. Some cases very dramatically. There's far less active farms, although they haven't gone completely. Most of them are to some extent doing holidays, but that was common anyway around here. That's when we had this place. We had a holiday let, two at one point. This is where he's working, the man. He got scaffolding. The scaffolding isn't his own. I don't think they're on today. I did wonder though, because he kind of missed a day. Yeah, they're getting done quite well. It's not a massive job, but it's complicated. There's a lot of like dormer windows and what are they called? Well, Velux roof lights on the other side. So. He's got quite a bit of help there, at least 2 people helping him most days. But I think it's opened his eyes a bit. He can leave them to it. He's going to pick up some bits and stuff like that, and he ends up. He only sets them on in the morning and comes back at night and picks one of them has to be giving a ride home. And I've said to him before, the stage of his business. He wants to be looking at being able to do stuff when he's literally not there. While he's pricing up other jobs and stuff like that. He's not 25 anymore, put it that way. Goths. You see, that's the first and only sign you've seen that the COVID hysteria is in place. Queuing outside the shop with masks on. It's complete nonsense. Not that I wouldn't, I would still comply with it, don't get me wrong, I have a mask, I don't have it with me, but I have one in the pickup, and when I go in places I wear it, but I literally hate it. I'll tell you what, part of the reason I hate it, it makes me want to sneeze all the time. It tickles hairs in my nose or something, but on top of that, I find you can't see down very well for it. It interferes with looking down. So you could literally fall downstairs or something. He's still got his, I think there's Charolais still out there. But it isn't actually all that wet yet. I mean, the trouble is with mine, they'd have to keep coming in and out. He's gonna, they're probably heifers, not so heavy. It's a bit rusted in there, like, isn't it? That's from the spready muck or something. In fact, I noticed this when I came along before. They have a feeder in there. I came back up this way on Friday. They don't look nice up there. Happily grazing about. I don't really know what they're getting like. Mine would be aghast if they couldn't come in and have about 2 tons of silage at the moment. Mine are great big heavy cows though, they're not like that at all. Well, along here there's a sort of house in the bottom, but it's like an outward bound centre or something. This was all cleared quite recently, and there's a lot of natural regeneration. I think they've planted oaks by the look of it down here, but this is primarily all commercial forest. But what I'm interested in is the Hartoft Beck down there. So you can go right through to Low Muffles here. We used to do it sometimes because the bank was sometimes too difficult to icy or snowy and things like that. But you can get in this way or blocked by other means. Now you see there's this house here, but it's not actually a house, but there might be somewhere there. I'm not stopping. That's like a, I think it's Outward Bound Centre. But it's not like deserted, but that way there's some lights and things come on, but I think it's just it's nice to be able to do that though, isn't it? Because they allow mountain bikes and horses service out. You're not supposed to come through here, but what harm does it do? Because I'm looking at this stream down here. See, I noticed, I kid you not, it looked like there was some beavers down there. Right, I'll just stop this other camera. I turned it on, but I didn't start it recording. I should know that really, shouldn't I? Because there are some, the other side, that's supposed to be controlled in a tight area. I think they're literally fenced in, but it's only a matter of time before they turn up somewhere else. It's just, there's a single tree laid across it, look. And it's going always. I mean, in a way, that in this situation, it's no bad thing, but it's just surprised me how that had dammed up, and then there's another dam further up. Again, that looks... How safe is this to walk on? I don't really want to fall down there. Ooh, it doesn't look very good, does it? Quite deep in there as well. I am convinced it's not beavers, but I don't quite know what they are doing there. On the other side is Low Farm and High Farm. And then in the bottom, the fields we used to have extend right down to about here. And the last one was sort of scrubby woodland when we got it, and we spent most of one winter pulling out all these birch trees. But since then it's all going back again. So, well, it was never much of a field, but it did produce quite nice grass. We got it reseeded and grew some hay on it. Nice replanting there. Is that heather? Yeah, a lot of heather on there. See, this was all moorland originally on this side. There was some little fields and paddocks here and there. And quite a lot of this is second generation. This has been felled before, some 20 years ago, and replanted. See a bit of wall there, look, so the clues are there, but it was much more farm. It's not much further now. I can see a junction ahead, goes up the hill to the right. I'm not sure I should go up there because there's a lot more pokey about what you can and can't do. Now there's our, can you see our fields across the river there? This was our field. Massive ant pile there. I think I'll just go to the end and turn around and come back, but then stop there maybe. Now then, I sort of want to park just off the road just in case somebody else comes along. This bike is actually about due for some a new rear tyre, if not both. There's some called the Michelin trackers or something like that. They're quite good for them. Somebody else has been fanning about. I think it's just mountain bikes. This is nice. I like this area too. It's a bit more light as well. But I've used this area once before, for some stills. It was surprising how noisy it was on the other side. The tractors going up and down. I'm just double checking I had my camera with me on the. Although these gravel roads in essence are easy to ride, the gravel sort of squirms about under your wheels. Obviously I'm trying to make noise levels down by using a reasonably high gear. I like this bit where them trees are on the side. It's getting a bit dark. So again there's walls there, look. So this, but this on this side was all moorland originally. These trees could be, well, they're probably a replant. It's cleared that you can actually see some recent thinnings as well, can't you? But it really is the last little dregs of autumn colour which what is it, the 21st. So this has transformed this area. They've left it much more open. There's a bit of daylight in. This is the great problem with winter rides out. Unless you can get away really before midday, you don't have time to do anything, and it's not just the daylight. It turns quite cold and potentially icy rather early. So this river, this is the Severn. I think it's a Severn, isn't it? Which comes down Rosedale. I should know that really. I think it is. It's a relatively large stream river, beck. But we used to come along here quite often back in the 60s because my granddad lived at Cropton and we lived at Huntley Hole. And I can't remember what happened, but he had a Morris Minor shooting brake and he had a crash here. That was more or less finished it. I don't know what happened to that car after that. When he first moved here, he had this Morris Minor. Then I think it must have been after that, he had a Ford Cortina, probably the Mark 1 or Mark 2, certainly an early one with like the rear light clusters split into 3. It looked quite futuristic at the time, because it was just a nod to the American cars with their fins and things, wasn't it really? Do you know, I don't know what happened to that, because I don't think when he died, I don't think she could drive, so that's part of the reason we come along to here, because we had to take her to the shops and things. But she only lived a couple of years after he died, and she died of cancer or something as well. She had some kind of goings on. I do remember being quite upset about my nan dying, like more than Grandad, because I think but anyway, I'd have to say that while I didn't do anything particularly exciting, really. It was just nice to go out, cold or not. When you weren't just going to the shop or going taking some cattle or something and drop them off and come basically back home because you've got cows to feed. So the line in is shut again, of course, but they did do quite a good trade through the summer when they were open from about, was it the 4th of July?